3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Come on, huh?
Look at this. Let me get settled. There's stuff under me. I want to stretch my legs a little bit.
You're just pulling wires as you do it. That's not good. Are we still on? You always do this. Why am I not in the center? Or
Center of what?
we're not centered.
Alexis,
You always do this.
Do you know what operation we're running here? Bro, this is it. This is how it works.
You always cut me off. You need to move over a little bit. That's what you need to do.
Okay, yes, I'm the problem. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Look, I try to get this dead center, this line here.
You could do that before we start. But
Well, I mean, you're the one setting up the camera. How do you not see that we're not in the middle? Hey, if you're with us, hey, what's up? We have one viewer at the moment. Come on.
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah, yeah. Well, wipe yourselves up before you get. Oh, I see what you're saying.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Prem Show, The Cooligans. I'm getting set up here. Maybe I should keep this over here because I'm going to be looking at you from time to time. John Carl Tritt said, The Cooligans are live. I need a beer or two. Okay,
Hey, that's the way to do it.
What time zone you in, John?
Bro, that's the way to do it, fam.
Paulo said, now they're receptionists to their own company.
That's right. Yeah. So we've taken over the building. Some would say taking everyone hostage. Some others wouldn't. We're squatters now, bro. What's good?
Justin Freeber said, it's clear our Patreon dollars are hard at work with this production value. Yes.
We're clear?
Yeah,
right?
We set up. Oh, all right, look. Let me give you everybody the wide shot. Okay. So you're looking at right now. We're at OSNYC, but you see Alexis sets up the lights. Claire helped us. Who's the manager here at OSNYC, and she set up the background.
Manager extraordinaire.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
I forgot that's on her business card.
Yeah. It opens up. It flips open like this.
Okay. I set up the camera, the audio. Oh, and look, we didn't even hit the record button. Card protected.
That's not a good sign.
Why is that? Why? I've never seen that before. I've taken out this card.
What protected from what?
Protected from what? I guess this. This must have switched.
Oh, somebody pulled it out and was listening to our stuff.
Okay, so hello everybody. We're at OSNYC. If you've never been here, it's a gaming space. Come check it out. It's awesome in NYC. Now it says card protected again.
All right, maybe the card's full.
No.
What's good? Another good Arsenal weekend. That's right, Bay Area Guna. Oh, I don't know, just the best team outside of the top two right now, right? Can we say that?
What a weird thing to pat yourself on the back for.
Hey.
The best team out of the top two, okay?
Bruh.
Look, my wife wanted to marry two other guys before me, but she ended up getting me. So
That's right. So, whatever, I won somehow. Hey, I'm in the Champions League.
Okay, now we are recording. All right.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I just took out the...
You blew on it like an old Nintendo?
Okay.
So, yeah, you see our lights. You see the setup here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's rather impressive. You can see the background that we used previously, right? We were filming over there. Yeah. And then we were filming on the other side of this table was where you saw the reception area, as y'all like to call it, for OS Conglomerate, OS Incorporated. And now we are here at Cooligans International.
Justin Freeber said, you look like you're ready to film an ad for a legal firm. Hey, what's wrong with that?
We'll take it.
Okay. It's good work. It's honest work.
The law offices a go F your mother.
Go F and your mother.
Yeah.
We work well together.
Yeah. We became partners, let's just say. Okay. Over some wine.
Okay. Yes, we are all from Cuckfield. Why do you ask? Okay. Are you excited about today, Alexis?
I very much am. Kind of an exciting start to today. I was on my scooter, and as I was getting here, almost drove right into the back of a fire truck. And then as I tried to get around it, 9 more fire trucks. Apparently the jail on Atlantic is on fire.
The jail?
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember where Takashi was kept?
It's on Atlantic and what?
It's Atlantic and Smith.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the massive jail.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a jail, really, from outside.
It looks like a luxury building. It's also across the street from a luxury building, which could you imagine paying, $4,800 for a studio apartment? And across the street, there's free apartments right there. And all you have to do to get it is break a window or punch a cop, you know what I mean? And you get one of those apartments.
All right, look, yeah, those apartment lotteries are getting a little tougher nowadays.
Yeah,
right?
it's a Jeff Lalama is a very different. You guys, that's a very New York reference.
Okay.
By the way, if you're watching, hit that like button already. Let YouTube know. Let YouTube know that you guys like us.
So obviously today is Prem Show. We focus on all things Premier League and European football. I've been listening to back to the podcast. This is hilarious. When we do our jobs properly, Alexis is like, this is hilarious. Look at this dork.
Yeah, why is he doing this?
So
people know that.
It's so strange. You keep saying people know that. And
We've moved on. Listen, Gen Z.
And then,
they don't turn on their TikToks and go, I'm going to do a dance. They just start the dance.
This is not a TikTok, okay?
Yes.
People have already invested a little bit of time.
They already know. They saw the banner. They see the thing, and they're like, I don't think they're going to talk about MLS.
I listen back to the podcast sometimes, and I'm like, we don't even say who we are. Like this, it makes no sense.
Yes.
To not introduce ourselves at all.
Right into a conversation.
So
jump right in. We need to move on to 2022. Christian's still in 2012.
Hello. Yes, my name is Christian. That's Alexis.
Hey.
We're the Cooligans.
Christian's like, when can I wear my Averex jacket? Although that's come back in style, so you might be right.
I know, a little too big for me.
Yo,
man.
can we get, if we get 300 patrons, can we get like the Averex and Pele jacket, the leather jackets that are all stitched up?
Eight ball.
Yes, dude.
Okay, so.
No, that was a question.
Can we?
Don't ignore me.
To who?
Huh? To you.
Can we? Or sure, we can.
But we both have to get one, so you have to be willing to wear one.
Bro, I don't know if they make that much leather for you, Alexis. Bro.
Oh, so you saying the cows are smaller than me, bro? Oh, wow.
We need to make an Averex jacket out of you to put on a cow.
Let's be honest. Mine's going to cost more than yours. We know that off the rip.
Okay, so a lot to discuss today, and as always, yes, hit the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do this live every Monday and Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. 1 p.m. On Mondays is our European focused show, and Tuesdays is the American focused show.
I think my wife is in the chat.
Why?
Masquerading as a guy named Michael Raymond because Michael Raymond put, Alexis needs to get rid of that scooter, always getting in trouble. Why make it sound like I'm Dennis the Menace?
Well, last week I did, remember our Pablo Zabaleta interview nearly got derailed.
Hey, it worked out perfectly in our favor.
It did work out perfectly, but I'm just saying, every week you're going to have a story on your way here.
Me putting my life in danger is actually helping us out. First of all, it's giving us content. And second of all, it's making the Pablo Zabaleta interview a bit more palatable for our content.
I'm just saying, when you get into a severe scooter accident, which is already embarrassing.
Why would you put that in the universe?
People are going to be like, I don't even know who he was because he never said his name on the show. I don't even know who this is.
I don't know. There's just a guy in 2 Averex jackets that are stitched together.
Okay. All right. So we've had enough warnings. The world has already told you. Okay.
I don't believe it.
All right. Omar is saying Lewandowski, Benzema, or Rolando, which is great. Whose hat trick was the best?
Rolando.
That Rolando.
Yo, just a fat Puerto Rican dude.
My landlord.
Y'all know the super to our building, then? Yo, we should live in the same building. How dope would that be?
Why would that? I don't even.
Who would that annoy more, you or Helene, your fiance?
I mean, I would have to say me. I don't know what. You already have a wife that has to live with you and tolerate you.
That's part of the agreement, believe it or not.
So I think you have enough accompaniment.
All right, fine. We won't live in the same building, but how about this? We both get scooters.
There's no way I'm getting a scooter.
Why not?
I'd get one of those foldable scooters, like the bird scooters. Those are dope.
Straight nerd. You ain't gonna sit down. You want to stand up?
But his Uber Eats delivery one is totally all good.
It's so dope. Everyone thinks I'm a delivery guy. I haven't gotten a ticket on it. In fact, I parked it illegally just now in front of a meter maid, and they still didn't ticket me. Dude was staring at me. I said, hello.
Damn.
And I walked right past him, and he was like, "Yo, good luck with your deliveries, my G." I was like, "You know what? I'm delivering jokes."
Alexis just mushed the cop as he walked away from his scooter.
I slapped the tickets out of his hand.
Yo, get a real job.
I know, damn son. What, you ain't good enough to hold a gun?
Okay. So, soccer.
Yes, football. On this episode, Tuesdays it's soccer. Mondays is football.
A reminder, everybody listening, tuning in, and watching right now. Thank you, everybody who's joined the Patreon. We appreciate all the support. Patreon.com/soccercooligans. Go to our Patreon right now. You can see the full interview with Pablo Zabaleta,
bro.
We just mentioned.
Right. In fact, right now, if you're listening, our interview with Julian Araujo is available to the public. But for like a week and a half, it was available to just our patrons. So if you want to see our stuff early, if you want to see our stuff, you gotta subscribe to our Patreon.
Okay,
bro.
all right. We out here with the lonely fans account. All right, so come through.
Lonely mans. Alexis has a scooter for the vibes, man. Justin Freeberg gets me, bro.
Yes, vibes,
Also, by the way, the average duration of viewers right now is 420, bro. Hey.
I love it. All right.
Speaking of vibes.
Nobody stay here longer. Nobody.
Unless you can get this to 69 minutes, bro.
So everybody, join Patreon, and you can have access to the Pablo Zabaleta interview. It is available right now.
Go to patreon.com/soccercooligans. That's right, English people. Y'all gonna have to spell the word soccer out. Let's talk about this weekend, because this weekend a bunch of incredible games happened, but I managed to finesse my way into quite a special event.
Yes, you did, and this is so that if people are not aware, this is Alexis's MO.
This makes me happier than actually just getting invited.
Right. Alexis it's not even just about being at places.
No,
it is about networking, connecting. Who knows what? What is it?
What's behind that door?
What's behind that door? Why is this door closed?
Yeah, I know. Why am I not allowed to be on the other side of the door? Oh, because this is where you keep your cleaning products? I'm just standing in it next to a Swiffer. It's what I'm happiest at.
So, Michael Raymond, thank you. He said, Christian, check your mic levels. All right, I'm a little bit louder now, if that's better.
Oh, was he too low or was he too loud?
Yeah, please let me know.
There's a big event. So the government, the UK government is doing a pop-up all over New York, multiple pop-ups throughout the entire month of March as a way to inspire even more New Yorkers to go to London. Every time I'm in London, 20% of the people I hear speaking sound like me.
Okay.
I'm like, there's enough New Yorkers going over there. What do you want? What do you want, all of us to be there? Right? So they have all these like red, traditional phone booths, like the traditional English phone booths. They're all out there, right? All over New York. You pick them up, you say something to the camera. I don't know what it is, but then they give you you could win a trip, an all-expense-paid trip to England. So another one of their pop-ups. So like, what are all the famous British things? Premier League, massive in New York. So they do a pop-up without telling anybody, but we're the Cooligans. So we're going to hear about it.
We plugged in.
You know what I mean? You can't be secret? Nah, fam. We there, right? It just so happens to have been also the NYCFC home opener. Right? So
tough position to be in.
Right. A little peek behind the curtain. We're still in contract with them, but it's currently with our lawyers. Our lawyers are going back and forth on a few things. Not a big deal. Everything's great. It's 99.9999% done. But because of that slight delay, and it really was on them, we didn't get a chance to sign that deal. So they were like, hey, you guys don't have to film anything. You guys aren't going to be making any content. You don't have any responsibilities at the game. At the same time, I'm told that, I get a call from one of the multiple people I text and said, yo, what's going on with this Premier League event? I even reached out to the people at NBC, and they were like, dude, this isn't us. It's the government of UK. And I was like, all right, well, then let me text Prince somebody. Right? The York of Pudding or whatever you guys are doing out there.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
The Earl of Sandwich, whatever's going on out there. Let me hit some of my peoples up and see what's going on. I finally get a text back, and someone says, I can get only one person in, but you have to tell me if you're going to say yes, because if I can only get one, I don't want you saying no. And I hit Christian up, and I was like, yo, I might not be able to go to the game. And Christian's like, that's ridiculous. I was like, all right, so good. I got your blessing. So I said yes. I get invited in. I heard Ian Wright's going to be there. That's enough for me.
Sure.
Right? And the guy goes, yo, by the way, you get VIP. I was like, of course I do. They must have saw my name. Right? When I got out there, I'm like, yo, it's Alexis. They're like, oh. I'm like, Guerreros. GUE. So, by the way, you know how I've been carrying that box cutter around with me, right? Because the subways are getting kind of wild.
I don't now.
Right, I've been carrying a box cutter with me.
Now everybody knows. Yeah.
Yeah. I stays pokey. You might get Pokemon, bruh. Right? So I have it. I forgot to bring it that day, and thank God because they were doing boop boop, right? The metal detectors.
Okay.
Whoo! Could you imagine that embarrassment? I'm here to meet Ian Wright. Fling. Oh man.
Yeah. They would have been. No.
Sir. Yeah.
I don't know. No, this feels a little too much like England.
It's such an England pop-up that a bunch of guys in the bobby hats come out and they beat me with sticks.
Right.
They don't have guns, right? So thank God I didn't have it on me, right? I must have left it at home, or maybe I lost it, which is not what you want to do with your pokey, right? So I get in, I go to VIP, first person I see walking down the ramp into VIP when I turn around, Ian MFN Wright. And yo, he's talking to he's got assistants and helpers and stuff. There's people there from the government. There's people there from the consulate. There's people there from Premier League.
And none of them have box cutters.
No.
Yeah, they're responsible
So I
people.
was just, no. So I've by the way, Michael Carrick was also there. You know whose photo you don't see right now is Michael Carrick, because I straight up was like, what's up, Mike? And I walked past him and I go, hey, yo, Ian. As if I know these people.
Right, yeah, they're the homies.
Yo, what's good, Ian? And I basically told him how much it meant to me and blah, blah, blah. And I'll reveal the whole story just to our patrons. So if you want to know what he said to me, which was absolutely crazy, join our Patreon right now, patreon.com/soccercooligans. But it was absolutely cool. It was dope. And there's a follow-up to the story. There's a little follow-up.
Okay.
So it's pretty positive. It's pretty dope. But one of the things he said to me, he goes, hey, man, because remember when we interviewed Sean Wright Phillip?
Right.
I said to him, I go, yo, why is your dad so much cooler than you? Right? And Sean would agreed immediately. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely. By the way, I said that to him. I go, yo, as soon as we interviewed your son, who's great, he's awesome.
Yeah.
But I said to him, I go, yo, why is your dad so much cooler than you? He started laughing. He goes, I am. He goes, he doesn't even want to do Instagram. He's like, and we're past Instagram already.
Right.
So
Ian's already, he started a TikTok, and he's like,
killing
my man
it.
is active
Yo.
on TikTok. The dude is duetting, he's stitching.
Bro.
He's responding to people, connecting, and he's building a whole new generation of a following. On TikTok. He knows what he's doing.
He's Uncle Ian, bro.
Bro.
And let me tell you something. The person you see on TV
Hold on.
is exactly who he is.
Man just said 2 legends in the photo with the one with no Champions League trophies between them.
All right, he played for Arsenal in a very different era, all right? And yo, if you give me a second, I could grab a Champions League trophy from somewhere. Just give me some time is all I'm saying.
Oh, my goodness. So, no, but amazing. Congrats to you. I know that was a big deal, meeting Ian Wright. I would love to meet Ian Wright someday, but I was, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I'm like, whatever. I'll get to it. I'll get to it at some point.
Dude, if it was I'm trying to think of an Everton legend.
Well,
if it was Seamus Coleman, I would have been like, bro, you got to go.
I mean, if it was
if the tombstone of Rafa Marquez was going to come by, I'd say, yo, you got to come.
The tombstone of Rafa Marquez.
When he passes away. Rafa Benitez. Why do I keep thinking of Rafa Marquez? Probably because he transported drugs over the border. So that's the name that pops
maybe
up.
Tim Cahill? Tim
Cahill's a big one.
Big one. I would love to, if I had the opportunity to meet him, I would take it.
If you met Landon Donovan and you could have him autograph any shirt, USA, LA Galaxy, or Everton, which one?
That would probably be USA.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, you ain't that much of an Everton fan.
Damn,
huh?
I guess not, bro.
Damn,
all right,
bro.
I mean, they make it harder week in and week out, bro. So congrats to you meeting Ian Wright. So let's start talking about Arsenal, because you got to
Let's not actually. Let's talk about what happened at this game, because the title of the stream is such. Okay? Now, while we're there, if you don't know, part of this pop-up was this massive screen, 200 seats, stadium style. Massive. Because it was such a secret, they only invited a whole core of Manchester United fans and a bunch of Spurs fans, right? So local supporters groups.
Okay.
They were allowed to go. Obviously, friends were told, blah, blah, blah. There's a guy in front of me, front row. The middle was for non-fans, so a lot of employees and stuff were sitting there. Okay. VIP, you know what I mean? Very important peoples, And this dude is sitting in front of me, right? Robert from LA said Mexican national team jersey for Landon Donovan.
Go with people saying Tim Howard. But I did meet Tim Howard and it was great.
He's kind of grumpy.
He's kind of.
You know what? Also, like, how many people tell me, like, people have messaged me, like, yo, do you know Tim Howard? Women.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, you want to bang Tim Howard? Which one of us don't? You know what I mean? Get in line, lady. The guy's gorgeous.
That does happen a couple of times where people think we have access to the degree of like, yo, there's a lady that wants to smash.
You trying to smash my G?
I mean, we've interviewed a couple of people.
Yeah. Yo, you trying to throw it in this one? What do you want us to say?
I don't know how helpful we will be or how appropriate it is really.
It's not really our job.
We're not super close. We're not like close to that.
Not
degree.
that close, bro. I can't be like, yo, you want to leave it inside this one? It's not us. I know you want to go halves on a baby with Tim Howard, but we ain't the ones.
Exactly. But yes, I have met Tim Howard, and he was
he's a sweetheart.
Delightful. Pleasant.
You got to meet him when the cameras aren't on.
Yeah, you got to meet him not wearing a Colorado Rapids jersey. I think that's that's probably the main thing, Jess.
So there's a guy in front of me wearing a Chelsea shirt. Cristiano Ronaldo had an incredible game against Tottenham, right?
Right.
As an Arsenal fan, I struggled a little bit with what I wanted the result to be. I think a draw would have been best, but also I got to enjoy watching Tottenham lose no matter what, right?
Right.
It comes second only. It's like cold pizza. It comes second only to hot pizza. You know what I mean? So I sat there and I said to myself, I'm looking for a draw here. And I see a guy in a Chelsea shirt in front of me, and I'm expecting he also was hoping for a draw, right?
All right.
Because you're not doing great, right? I don't know if you guys have seen the news.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Right? Players have to drive themselves to the game, so it's not a good time right now. So your position in third might be at stake here, right? Potentially. Right. So I'm expecting that you're looking for a draw, not a win from Manchester United. The first goal from Cristiano Ronaldo, absolute golazo. Goat shit, right? Absolute goat shit. He gets up in a Chelsea shirt and does the SIUU celebration.
Wait, who is it that gets up and does this?
The kid in the Chelsea shirt.
Got it.
Jumps up and does the SIUU, like the whole thing. Mm-hmm. He waited for people to stop clapping so he can kind of do it and get like everybody see him. He's in the front. It's like a black box theater, if you guys know what that is, like where the stage is like flat and the seats go up. Basically did in front of everybody.
How dare this
And
kid.
we were all like, you know what? It was a golazo. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit much, but I'm going to let it go because it was a...
How old a kid we talking?
Maybe touching 30.
30?
Yeah.
You said kid.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a dude. My bad. This is not a child. It's not a child.
You're not a mob boss.
Yeah.
Who's your nephew who's 45. You still
Right.
call him a kid.
You know what I mean, right?
I literally thought you was a kid.
So Chris Moltisanti. No, it's a guy. He's a full-grown man.
Okay, so this is all right. That's just even
Worse.
way more embarrassing.
Yeah. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Okay, my bad. So my guy, second goal, good goal, not a great goal, good goal. Gets up and does it again. He does a SIUU with the jump, the turn, the whole night. Look, the kid looks good in a Chelsea shirt.
Stop calling him a kid.
The guy looks good in a Chelsea shirt.
Adult male.
Yes, the full-grown, pays his own bills, adult male.
Right.
Looks good in a Chelsea shirt. It was fine. But, bro, he did a SIUU in a Chelsea shirt celebrating a Cristiano Ronaldo Manchester United goal. The rest of us thought it was a little cringe. It was a little cringy.
A little?
I posted.
You gotta kick this person out.
Right? I posted it, and then someone tags the guy and says, "Oh, that was blank." And I'm like, here we go. And the guy was like, "Yo, that was me. Ronaldo's the GOAT. We got a problem." And I did not respond,
Everybody
friend.
in the chat is freaking out. You think this 30-year-old man is a kid.
Saying,
Justin Freeber said, I'm still a kid at 28. I guess then.
Look at that baby.
Jamal Lennon said, man said 30, and he called him a kid. And Omar said, young man to Alexis is hitting 70. I mean, I think it's because Alexis still thinks of himself as a child.
Yeah.
That, he's comfortable doing this.
They say that your brain stops when you first ejaculate. Have you ever heard this theory?
I'm not.
You all right?
I have not, but I can't wait to hear the whole theory right now.
Oh, period. You heard the whole thing.
Whoa.
They say your brain development, you remain the age of when you first ejaculate. Did you never heard this theory?
No, I have not. I have not. And I was a late bloomer, so
bro.
I'm about 18 years old, bro. That's it for life.
Wait. No, also involuntarily ejaculated.
Then I'm 17.
Yeah,
Let's go.
word. Change the bed sheets, my G.
Wow, no, I have not heard that, but okay. No, look, even if he was wearing a Manchester United kit and doing that at 30 years old,
It's a little bit much.
still way too much.
But we've seen this. We've seen Manchester United fans get a little bit
If you're at
into it.
Old Trafford, I get it.
Still embarrassing.
Whatever.
Be an adult.
Less judgmental.
Yeah. You're in the place where you fine.
Sure.
Fine. If you're going to do
When
it.
in Rome.
Yeah. Right? If you're going to do it, we gave you a place to do it. Go buy a ticket and do it.
Exactly. But no, wearing the Chelsea kit makes it even worse.
That to me, you're not wrong. An adult male doing it once because you're lit because the goal was so good and you don't know what to do, I can maybe give you a pass. Twice? And I wasn't in the room when he scored the third goal. I guarantee you my man did it a third time.
Got the hat trick of suits.
Right? He triple sued.
Omar Ramirez said, "Damn, so virgins are smarter than all of us."
Oh, yes.
Barry Gunnar said, "Thank God Alexis is in comedy and not a teacher."
Hey, yo, you kids heard about this? It's a room full of adults.
It's like a senior citizens home.
Hey, kids, quiet down.
You gotta learn something today.
Hey, how old were you when you first came?
Okay, so
By the way, the magnificent Claire is in the background, just having to hear all of this dumbness and still try to do work.
is there a more entertaining show about soccer? I don't think so.
Have we even covered soccer yet?
He's like, wow, it's just quite informative. This game.
She's like, you learned so much.
There's so many layers to it.
I didn't know this was covered in the 90 minutes of the sport.
So
People are saying, Justin Freeberg said, Alexis slowly killing Christian with this theory. Yeah, he went on a coughing fit, which, by the way, in this era, not a good thing to do.
Ezra H said, not even Ronaldo did it 3 times. He did. That's right. This kid
Yeah,
did it more
this grown-ass kid.
than Ronaldo.
Is it okay? Cristiano Ronaldo, we all have to agree, whether you like what he's done in his personal life, yada, 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 the horrible human being that he is. If you, regardless of all that, if we look at just what he's done when he's on the field, when he's on the pitch, you have to say he's one of the greatest of all times to play the sport. He's a GOAT, whether you like it or not, right?
Sure.
Is that enough for someone wearing a different shirt to celebrate your goal by doing your celebration just because you're a GOAT? Is it still kind of cringy, or do you give him a pass?
I mean, again, when you said kid, I was thinking like an 8-year-old, and I'm like, he doesn't know yet.
No, then no.
So the answer,
add
easy
20
answer is
years
no.
to that.
The easy answer is no. There's no way.
Even though it's a GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly.
And also, is Chelsea really that much of a Manchester United rival? To the point where you could say, like, I would never, under any circumstances, while wearing an Arsenal shirt or wearing anything, celebrate a Harry Kane goal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it would never happen. Nor would a Tottenham supporter ever celebrate, a Lacazette goal, if he ever scores one, or whatever.
Just
like
did the other day,
yeah, I
bro.
know, pretty good. It was a penalty though, or a Saka goal. You know what I mean? Saka, hey, the Saka Cooligans. You wouldn't celebrate that. Chelsea and Manchester United, not exactly bitter rivals, but it's too much. Even if you're not a fan of Chelsea, you're wearing the shirt, you got to know to yourself, this ain't the time and place to do it. I'm going to become a meme here. I have video of it, but I will not release it because the man knows I had talked about him already.
Patreon, bro.
Yo, you know what? I will put it up on the Patreon.
Going on Patreon.
Bro, you got to see it. I guarantee you, whatever you think this dude looks like, you are wrong. I promise you.
Okay. Colabanca said in the 2000s they were big rivals. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, big rivals only because they were competing for the same titles. They're not like, hated derby rivals. It's not a classical. You know what I mean?
Look, the main point here that we have to take away from all this is that I don't care. I don't care what this dude does. It's silly. It's goofy. Let's move on. That's it. I mean, what else is there?
Or you could have said, tell us in the chat what you think.
A lot of people are saying they're giving their point of view, but there's really only like
Crimson Pizza, thank you so much for the super chat. How about a super chat to celebrate the Arsenal win over Leicester? Hey.
Thank you for the love.
Dude, if you guys aren't super chatting us, we're not going to read your comments. We will if it's funny. But we're going to create a poll here. Sue in other shirt.
Why is this? Is this really a pressing issue that is important to you?
Yeah.
What people are wearing when they do this goofy celebration?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let us know what you think, folks.
Yeah, there we go. You're willing to waste 17 seconds going, thank you so much for listening to yet another episode of the
This is apparently
but you don't want people to put in the chat
adults care about what they did. It's like wrestling. It's like WWE. This is doing the Stone Cold Stunner.
But while you're wearing another wrestler's shirt, if I knew another wrestler,
like underwear or whatever. Who cares?
Who's Stone Cold Stunner's biggest rival?
Stone Cold Stunner's biggest rival.
What's my guy's
Stone
name?
Cold Steve Austin.
Sorry.
Okay.
You
really goddamn son of a bitch.
You really were a virgin for a long time.
Still am and proud. Who I don't know. I mean, he fought a bunch of people.
Hulk
The
Hogan?
Rock. The Rock.
Okay, The Rock.
Yeah.
You can't dress up as The Rock and then whatever Stone Cold did. Didn't he pour beer on himself?
Yes, he did. He did.
See? All right, you can't do that.
Bro, the fact that you give a shit about this, it boggles my mind. For real. Okay. We'll see what the polls say. Everybody's saying
okay,
no.
people are saying The Rock. Everton fans don't get it. They don't have a goat or celebration. Bay Area Goona.
We have nothing to celebrate right now.
Bay Area Goona. Could you imagine someone in a Tottenham shirt doing like the Henri slide with like both of his arms out like that? Could you imagine that?
I could imagine that.
No, I don't think you could. Tell me what you see. What does that person look like? Is it you in a Tottenham
maybe
shirt?
I just have a more active imagination than you do, because I can imagine it.
Apparently not if your first time involuntarily doing that was 17.
Bro, okay? Blame the church. Blame the Catholic Church, not me.
Why do you think Mans is invested in his wedding planning, Alexis? Wait, what?
Why do you think my man's is invested in his wedding planning?
He's so invested. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Christian,
Crimson, hit me with why that. What
Christian,
you mean by
did
that?
you also Google how to watch championship in the U.S. this morning? Okay. Like there's a lot of topic. There's so much to talk about. I don't want to waste more time talking about this.
Okay, but all right. Well, let's finish talking about what the implications of that game and the Arsenal, the big Arsenal win. Yet another clean sheet for Arsenal. Mm-hmm. Massive win. Right? Sure, Jamie Vardy wasn't there. A couple players were sat. Regardless of that, Leicester's fighting for their lives. That's an important match for them to win. Brendan Rodgers is bottling it left and right. This was an important match for them. We won. We won big. We look good. Gabriel Magalhaes looks good. In fact, shouts to the center back pairing, Gabriel Magalhaes and Ben White. They looked incredible, putting their bodies on the line, making sure that we keep a clean sheet. Aaron Ramsdale looking like the best keeper in all of England. Our front forwards looking absolutely incredible. The link-up play is great. Xhaka looks good. Partey looks like one of the best defensive midfielders. People are saying he played like Patrick Vieira. I don't disagree. Martin Odegaard, the greatest signing of the last few years. I'll say it. 25 million.
What a bold stance when literally everybody else is saying it as well.
Bro, they almost I've been saying it. I've been saying it since day one. He's only now proving it. Also, there's a lot of people, and I might have to go back into the tweets and look it up, kind of get some receipts. There's a lot of people who were saying Arteta out. All of a sudden are saying he was a great manager. Wow, welcome aboard. Glad I got such a big bus. Maybe Chelsea could rent it from me. They need it to get to the games. Wow. A lot of people lost confidence. Not me.
Jamal London saying, Christian, quit laughing, bro. Wickham or Wycombe? Wickham Wanderers, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, Wickham Wanderers.
And Akinfenwa are coming for you. Look, we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when
sadly when they get there.
We're getting quite close to the bridge. I'll be honest.
The toll's going up. So if I were you,
okay. Gas prices are crazy. I don't want to cross it.
Manchester Sandu, shouts to Manchester Sandu, who'll be sending us the best predictions every week. The kid should be gambling.
The
all
kid,
right.
The kid. Mentioned
He's
I believe
38 years old.
45 years old. This child.
Yeah.
Thank you for great predictions.
Alexis was saying that after the 5-0 Man City game. Yo, bruh, I believe in my squad. I believe in the plan. I believe in Arteta. I said, let Arteta and Adu get their mans in the squad, and let's see how they play when they get their full squad. And they play increíble.
Yeah.
All right?
So, no, Arsenal did look good in that game.
Yo, the best team that's fighting for top 4. In fact, if it wasn't for that Chelsea win this weekend, I'd say we'd be easily getting top 3.
Yeah, and look,
Third, obviously, not first or second.
The string of games, especially with the fact that Arsenal have a lot of games in hand, they're using them properly. Those games in hand, and they're winning and they're getting those points.
But even if can you pull up the standings or the table as y'all call it? So cute. Even if we was even on points with or even on games with Chelsea right now, we'd be fine. And that's the thing y'all don't understand. Look, can we afford to lose all the matches we have in hand? Nah, because sneakily, Tottenham actually kind of has a chance to be like 3 points behind us if they win their games in hand. But look, we're at 26 games played. Everyone else is at 28. Manchester United 29. Manchester United 1 point behind us. We got 3 games in hand. Even if we lost all those and we was even with Manchester United, we're in much better position than they are. We're a point ahead of them, and we're 14 plus 14 on goal differential. They're plus 8. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And we've got an easier schedule, and we've got one more game than them in March. So come the end of March, we're actually going to be even on not even on games with them. We're going to catch up one of the games in hand, and we might even pull ahead because the hardest match we got is Liverpool coming up, and I actually am pretty confident we might be able to take some points away from that.
Yeah, this is going to be a defining game for Arsenal season, because if they can get a point against Liverpool, is it going to be at home or away?
No, we're at Anfield.
No, this is at home.
It is at home?
Yeah.
I thought we were going. No, we did go to Anfield already.
Yeah.
Yo, good. Come on.
This will be a big, and this also will very much hurt Liverpool's chances if they don't get 3 points.
Right, and Liverpool got a bunch of other things they need to worry about. They're not many. They're not in multiple competitions.
But credits Arsenal.
I mean, they are in multiple competitions. We're not.
Credits Arsenal. They look great in that game. There's a level of confidence, especially after Aubameyang left, that I thought it would be a little bit like the other. I thought
Jamal London said, "Yo, Alexis, don't jinx it for fuck's sake." You're right. My bad.
I thought it would affect the team a little bit more negatively, but they look. I mean, the chemistry looks crazy. I mean, they look like the Bergkamp. Fabregas, like Henry, like
I said this months ago. I said, look, we may not be getting the results, but one thing is very clear is Arteta came in and he wants to change the core and the foundation of this whole club. He wants players that want to play for the badge. He wants players that play well together, that get along. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't so worried when Aubameyang left or when he was shunned, whatever you want to call it. Because it's very clear that Aubameyang was doing stuff for Aubameyang and the rest of the team was doing stuff for Arsenal. And no disrespect to Aubameyang. Dude, you're a superstar. Go do your thing. Go live in Barcelona. Go score goals for Barcelona. I hope the rest of your career is a blast. It's just for Arsenal, for what we need right now, you weren't it. And look at what we have. Did you hear what Martin Odegaard said after the game? He was like, nah, dude, the players are playing for each other. I've never seen anything like this before. The unity with the club, we all get along in practice, and we all try to play for each other here. They're all passing the ball to each other. They're all upset with themselves when they don't get on the end of a great pass or whatever. And Martin Odegaard is absolutely one of the most silky midfielders. The kid's vision is elite, and we got him for half the money. Half the money we were about to play for Madison. Yeah. What?
Jamal London said, Luis Diaz versus Cedric. I am scared for Cedric and his mental health.
Bro, I hope Tomiyasu back. Actually, I think that's why Tomiyasu was held back, so that he would be ready for the game against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Make sure. I forget what's wrong with him, quad or a mid-stomach kind of strain. I'm not sure if it's like an abductor muscle thing. Whatever it is, I hope that the reason they rested him during this game.
There's no adductor, not abductor.
You think I know what that muscle's called?
It's like an adductor is more of a leg injury rather than a...
What's a full name for an ab?
Abdominal.
Abdominal. Word. All right, so it's abdominal thing. Wow. Oh, this kid's got a lot of information. What were you reading instead of jizzing, dude? The whole time?
An abductor is Alexis's new thing. He was giving you sex ed before. Now he's telling you about the human body.
Let's move on to the skeleton, everybody. By the way, I think the most important match of the season may be that Manchester United versus Arsenal match at the Emirates. And guess who's going to be there? Because I bought tickets by mistake.
We'll get to that later. But
you haven't talked about that on the show yet?
We have not. You accidentally, you were, what is it, a lottery for a particular game?
Arsenal America does like the sneakers app where you put in your credit card.
Right.
So we were going to be in Liverpool, and we were like, hey, let's go to the Manchester United Arsenal match at Old Trafford. So I applied for tickets, didn't get them, and then turns out I did, and it was for the wrong one. It was for the one April 23rd. So I'm going to be in London. If anybody wants to hang out, let me know.
So, but the one thing about Manchester United I did want to talk about is...
By the way, the poll ends with 83% saying no, you can't. So who are those 17% who said yes, you can? 16%, my bad.
Tom Brady went to Old Trafford to watch that game, and there was a lot of photos with Cristiano Ronaldo.
In fact, there's a story on Tom Brady's Instagram where you can hear Cristiano Ronaldo go, so you're finished, right? And Tom Brady goes, and you can't tell what he's saying.
Oh. Maybe that's what forced him to give an answer.
So people are saying, oh, Cristiano Ronaldo scoring a hat trick made him realize he's not done. A conversation with Cristiano Ronaldo made him realize he's not done. Are you guys forgetting who owns Manchester United? The Glazers.
Right.
Who owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? The Glazers.
There we go.
So is he there inspired by Cristiano Ronaldo? Maybe. But did he go there to tell the Glazers, hey, I'm not done yet? Yeah, duh. Why else would he be in England, bruh? In your winter.
Yeah.
He ain't doing that. My guy lives in Tampa. And also, low-key, here's what I actually found out. My guy wants to be traded. He wants to come back, but he wants the Glazers to let him out of his contract so he can sign with the the San Francisco 49ers, bro.
Really? He came out and said he's coming back, but he said he's playing for the Buccaneers.
He said he's not done playing. He didn't say for the Buccaneers.
I believe he said for the Buccaneers. Well, maybe, but whatever. Tom Brady has unretired after a conversation with Cristiano Ronaldo. He saw him play. He said, if that kid can still do it, I'm a kid. I should also be able to do it.
Look at this kid.
Look at this kid. We're all kids here.
Can't even see his diaper. Meanwhile, I'm wearing mine out of respect.
So that has been making
CR7 is also younger, way younger. Tom Brady's 43, 44?
Yeah, something like that, 43, 44.
He said he wanted to play till 46.
Damn, what an old man playing such
There it is.
Violent sport.
Alan said, Chris, as if you know Cristiano Ronaldo. Chris is 37, though. Tom is about to be 45. LOL. Kind of a big gap to be comparing himself.
But this is what,
It's like me. I see a kid in high school dunk, and I'm like, why aren't I out there?
If I exercise for 2 days, I could do the same thing.
You know what? I didn't do my stretches this morning. Maybe I should have, and let me get out there.
You know what?
How many muscles?
I'm holding myself back.
How many muscles would just blow out of my body if I tried to dunk a basketball right now?
So that was a pretty big story. The fact that he unretired right after that moment. After watching Cristiano
as if
get a
he
hat
didn't
trick.
go there to talk to the Glazers. You Cristiano Ronaldo fans want to give him credit for everything. Seriously.
Okay. A couple other things.
If Brady leaves the Bucks, I'll respect him more. Glazers can hold that. Yeah, man, just saying, you guys hate the Glazers, huh?
Hey,
they brought back your goat.
All right. Enjoy Europa League. Anyway,
if you're lucky. Enjoy Europa Conference.
I would love Europa Conference League. I would love.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
I'm a huge fan of the Premier League. I kind of want to just stay there and play there a little bit.
He's willing to give up all other competitions. We don't even need to take part of the FA Cup, says Christian.
Okay.
You can have it.
The other thing I want to talk about, we have to talk about Chelsea and Roman Abramovich and everything kind of going on. The sanctions that have been placed on him, and then now Chelsea. I thought it was just going to be kind of focused on Roman Abramovich's assets.
He owns them. They chop. That's one of his assets.
Right. So, and I didn't think they would be as harsh a penalty to the degree where they're actually like freezing credit cards and they're asking Thomas Tuchel like, well, who's gonna who's gonna pay for the snacks in the snack room? Like they're asking him everything, like as he knows what is supposed to happen of how this business is supposed to be.
So
run.
what is it? They're only allowed. The sanctions have adjusted, but the initial thing was $500,000 only per game for like security and stuff. They're not allowed to sell tickets, so only season ticket holders can now come in because they've already made those purchases.
Right. They can't sell more tickets. So any tickets that have already been sold are fine.
Yeah. So they can't sell anymore. But like when this happens when we travel, they release tickets for the game like a couple weeks in advance. So most of the next few upcoming games are going to be, I think only 20,000 fans are going to be there. Right? Okay. I think because that's how many season tickets they've sold. Imagine being a season ticket holder and not going to a game. I mean, you better sell that ticket for a lot of money, bro. They also asked the fans to stop chanting Roman Abramovich's name, which I get because he's being sanctioned and he's not a great guy. But if you're a Chelsea fan, he did bring you every trophy. Right?
I could see the appreciation, yes.
If you can compartmentalize the horrific things that man had to do to get that money, right, or had to sort of take a blind eye to, if you could do that and just think of him as your owner, I can't blame you for loving the man for that.
I mean,
for being the owner.
I guess I would have more of an issue with that than somebody doing a SIUU celebration in like you're more passionate about the SIUU celebration.
What if Roman Abramovich did the SIUU celebration?
Wearing a Chelsea shirt.
No, he owns Chelsea. What if that's the way he left England? On his super yacht.
The specifics. I don't know what Chelsea are going to do. I mean, they have to sell the team very quickly, right? That seems to be what they're kind of forcing.
But either it goes into administration. By the way, if at any point they go into negative arrears, like they go into like unsolvent, right? Like they can't pay the staff or whatever. It immediately goes into administration, which is what happened to the Rangers. Right. So they may be dissolved.
Derby County as well.
They may be dissolved as a club and then allowed to restart at the lowest level or something crazy like that. Yeah, which would be insane to see. I mean, I get it. People in England like they have no history anyway, but still like. Recent history would suggest they're the champions of Europe. You don't want to see them competing in League Two. Or would they start non-league?
I mean, how severe should the punishment be exactly? Like, I mean, I don't know what the penalty should be or not. It's just kind of a wild situation for a club that especially has been so successful. What I'm more interested in is the dynamic between fans. Like fans are now, roast Chelsea, make fun of Chelsea. They've been very successful. Like, please go for it. But then there are these conversations about should we think more ethically about like who owns our club and who is the custodian? Where are they getting their money from? And
Newcastle ownership says no.
And that's the thing, right? Because even with the jokes, like if a Newcastle fan makes fun of Chelsea fans, it's like, all right,
were you laughing
the
at?
Context of the joke doesn't feel, it's just like it feels less funny because it feels a bit more hypocritical. But is this a thing that we should even really be discussing? Because it generally feels like we all know what's going on. We've all accepted it. We all want our clubs to be successful. We all want to have the banter over our rival.
Right.
And this is the cost of that, where sometimes the money comes from maybe a place of not the most ethically sourced way to make money.
Okay, so you have to suspend that part of it, right? When you are a fan of a club. Because you are a fan of essentially a cartoon over a heart, a color of a shirt, and sometimes the name on the back. At the end of the day, you love a specific group of people or a group of people that play under a specific banner that kick a ball. Can you turn your back on a club because of the owner?
Well, I like this. John Carl Tritt said time for 50+1. It's what they do in Germany, which is,
mostly.
Yeah.
Unless you're RB Leipzig.
When we were in Germany, this was a topic of conversation. It came up a lot, and German football fans it's something that they're really, really proud of, and they're not willing to to accept what other leagues have done to be more successful. They don't want that for their club. They like having say and control over what the club does, what it represents, how it's run. And I can see if you're willing to give up, and if you have like those ethics and morals, and you're willing to give up winning Champions League every year and being
which might not have to happen if you're Bayern.
Right.
They're 50 plus 1.
They are, but the team is run just in such a, it's in such a good way, and they also bring in a lot of money. They're obviously one of the most popular clubs in the world, but it's a fair question because
Crimson Pizza said, I say we turn it into a reality show and have people compete to be new owners. So you think you could run a football club?
Look, Jamal London said, LOL, 50 plus 1 can't work in England.
But why? Don't just say that. Why?
Why can't it work?
Why? Here's the thing. If you can't be both, you can't say that you have the greatest club in the world and say it will completely fall apart if you don't spend the most money. Then you don't have the greatest clubs in the world. If you think the best players will immediately run to La Liga or immediately run to PSG or immediately run to Bayern, if you're not spending the money you're spending, then you ain't the greatest league and you ain't the greatest club in the world. And then there really is no majesty or aura or glory behind Manchester United and behind the shirt and players who want to play for that, or Arsenal or Chelsea or Manchester City. Not that anyone's saying that about Manchester City, but you get the point. None of that's real. None of that's real. If the only way you maintain dominance is by spending more than everyone because you make the most on TV, and if the people only watching that TV because of the players you bought, then you've stuck yourself in that economy and you can't get out. If people aren't willing to play for your team or your club or your league strictly for the love of that badge and make a little bit less money, then you're not that big of a deal.
Right. And
you can't claim that.
And it's still a lot of money, right? It's a little bit
less.
It's quite
it's
a
just
lot.
a tiny bit less.
And I think
Jamal explains it. He said, the reason why English league is more unpredictable and successful and the best league in the world is because of the billions in the game. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it is a not that it doesn't make sense, but
it doesn't equate.
It is.
So then you aren't the greatest. You're the highest paying.
Yeah, and that is. But I mean, the point of the most unpredictable, I don't agree.
Just
with that.
how instead of Lexus is dead on. Guess other people do.
I don't think it's the most unpredictable, but it is the most successful. It's just. It's business. I mean, they've done.
They got me with the grind again.
They've done business better than other leagues. I mean,
what is it with this place?
When they rebranded, just the English Football League to separate and be the Premier League, it was because we want to change the Division 1 to have a different aura. Like
they did it for the TV money.
Exactly. So they've ran the business better than other leagues. That's obvious, but
no, and this is the part I'm making. I'm saying the point I'm making is that no, I disagree with you. They didn't run the business better. They spent more money and drew more attention, which, look, if you spend more, you will get more, right? You're investing in yourself. They make more TV money, so they have more money to spend than anyone else.
But that's good business. That's what I'm saying.
The point I'm trying to make is everyone says, they love people. Flex says this all the time. People want to play for the shirt, the Manchester United shirt. If you're paying less than Real Madrid, no, they don't. If all of a sudden you're paying less than Bayern, they don't care about that. Maybe a few kids that grew up in Manchester that actually like Manchester United, that's great-grandfather was a fan of the team, maybe you'll get a few of those. But no. Apple as an organization, Google as an organization, can't sit there and pay you half as much as Bing and expect the greatest employees to come. It just don't work like that. No one loves the thing they work for. They love the money they're getting from that thing. Unless it's like a non-for-profit or something.
Jamal said it is the most unpredictable league. What are you on about, Christian? For the last 10 years, there have been 5 different winners. Well, what about MLS? MLS has way more different winners than...
You think they even consider MLS a league?
I'm just saying the unpredictability, Premier League does not have that. Compared to, yes, La Liga and
it's not the most top-heavy league.
Exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, you have a point there. And in fact, I kind of disagree with Christian. I agree with you, Jamal London. Manchester Sanders said bang bang, thank you. I don't know exactly what that means, but I agree. Take a look at other leagues. It's either duopoly. Whoa!
Meaning two.
Yes, I know what it means, Christian. Or a single leader. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because I said Bing. MLS is the most unpredictable by the money standard. Look, Arsenal had a 49-0 at one time, but they failed to grasp the +1. Oh, with the 50+1. Got you. Look, I agree. I agree that the Premier League is has a tiny bit more parity, and it's also a bit more bottom heavy, right? Like the girl I took to prom. You knew where I was going.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, hello. I hope you're doing well. Whatchamacallit? Like, I get that the bottom is a bit more difficult. It's easier to let's say the clubs at the bottom half of the table in most other leagues are way weaker than they are in the Premier League. Premier League is a much more difficult, but also the second division in England is way better than almost 99.999% of all other second divisions. It's a very strong sort of feeder league to the Premier League. We're getting away from the point. The point we're making is in conjunction with Chelsea, and especially the Premier League, if the Premier League were to change now and become more fan-driven, especially as far as ownership, it would be the death of the Premier League.
Or it would be,
as we know it.
It would be an evolution. It would be a very different Premier League that you wouldn't have.
That's like if the next set of humans only have one arm. It's like, well, you didn't.
Well, you wouldn't have.
That's not an evolution.
You couldn't have teams like Manchester City. You couldn't have teams like Chelsea with Havertz, Lukaku, Pulisic, Werner, where they can in one transfer window they spend 200-300 million pounds. That you won't have that.
But you think those players would have come to Chelsea for less money?
No. Exactly. Yeah, they would not.
So they ain't going to Manchester United, bruh.
Maybe. I mean,
y'all gonna be MLS. How about that?
But the game would be played differently. It would be coached differently and managed differently. You would have to find ways to have advantages.
You'd be MLS
rather than simply just having the greatest players.
You'd be MLS.
Right. So it is a thing. My question to Premier League fans is: would you be willing to make that compromise if you didn't have to feel bad about who owned your club? That's the question that I put at every Premier League fan's feet.
Also, can we be honest? Is there anyone who gets to billionaire status whose hands are completely clean? Bro, I barely got money in the bank. My hands ain't clean. You know what I mean? I got blood on my hands, bro.
But this is the thing with the 50+1 rule is that at the very least, the fans, even in Germany, have some say of all right, who is this owner? Why do we really want him involved? And they can at least have some, even the owners in Bundesliga, I'm not saying all their hands are clean or whatever, but at the very least, the fans can at least say nah, this isn't the dude that is going to be responsible for the club, which is something at least Bundesliga fans have that over fans of pretty much any other league, where they can at least be okay with that with themselves. Or if you don't care that Roman Abramovich was the owner, and it's I just want to see a good product, then that's fine. If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. But you can't have both.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, but I don't think there's no way to be completely clear of controversy or some type of ill-gotten gain. Or, how far are we going to carry the morality clauses, knowing that I mostly agree? I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit. Because at the end of the day, how far can we carry that morality clause? Look, the way Roman Abramovich has gotten and been able to maintain his billions, I can't prove it, but neither can anybody else. But I think we can all agree. Yeah. If Putin's your homie, you did something wrong.
There's too many photos of you dapping up.
Right?
Putin.
You know what I mean? You did something wrong. Right?
If Putin likes you, there's no way you're a good dude. There's no way.
We say this for comedians all the time. I don't care what you say. Look at your audience that follows you. That's who you are, fam. If Putin is like, yo, that's my G, you fucked up, bro. You did something wrong. Or you said something wild. You know what I mean? And look, even to his credit, and look, I don't know what his inspiration for doing so was. He's been handling all this pretty correctly, right? Roman Abramovich. He was willing to give up ownership or at least stewardship of the team.
Right.
He said he was going to give money to Ukrainian stuff, which is the first time any autocrat, oligarch has kind of veered from the Putin messaging. Right. It's huge. That's a massive, massive statement to make. And I'm not saying he's clear of everything because of that. He handled that part correctly. Who could we point out that is like the right person to own a club? Right. Even if they're the 49, who?
Right, yeah.
Bro, when I got billions, rest assured there's some skeletons in the closet.
I mean, literally, just the skeletons are just like in the living room. Right?
100%. They're photos of me dapping up the skeletons. You feel me?
Bones. There's bones everywhere. No, look, I think it's a healthy conversation to have, because this obviously with everything going on in Ukraine and seeing the news. And
by the way, Chanchala Millonaria says, Alexis, what's an odd maternity hospital or dismembered journalist? I'm not agreeing with any of it. I'm simply saying, when you pick the next owner, how can we find someone who's gotten to that level of rich that doesn't have something? And I'm not saying that that's why we should excuse all of this. I'm simply saying, how do we move forward? If we are going to move forward, we don't just say, all right, get rid of Putin and now guarantee the next guy is going to be awesome or the next woman's going to be perfect. No.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know how to get there. I'm asking, how do we get there?
Yeah.
Everything happening is absolutely abhorrent. We stand with Ukraine. I'm very anti what happened to Jamal Khashoggi. I wish that stuff would have been able to be, put through trial or whatever. I don't know what you would be able to do. I wish all those things. Yeah. I'm not that guy. Don't pin that on me. I'm simply saying, what gives us the right to say, hey, this guy's bad, and be sure the next guy is good or the next woman is going to be good? We don't know. How do we get to that point?
It's a tough, with any big business or whatever, it just happens, these owners are more high-profile people.
Nick Red said, Alexis earns his billions and starts the Newark Taylor Hams. Hey, now that's a good squad.
But this is... look, I guess the overarching sort of answer is capitalism, bruh. I mean, this is how it is.
It's perfect. That's what we're saying, right?
Hey, get on board. Play the game.
You ain't working hard enough. 80 hours a week.
We're quoting Kim Kardashian, okay?
Yeah. Alexis, don't go skeletons in the closet, just mad pizza boxes. Hey, where else are you going to keep them? Garbage.
So, look, dude, I think it's an important conversation to have. Maybe, maybe it'll get worse, maybe it'll get better, but future generations are going to be responsible
you know what?
for this.
I need to take some credit away from Roman Abramovich, because Jamal London says, LOL loophole. He never said he was going to give money to Ukraine citizens. He said he was going to give money to victims of the war, although it's illegal to call it a war in Russia. So there's a little something there. He said, and their body dropped are on both sides. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Maybe I misread that.
Look, but even from Abramovich's his perspective, he's like in a bind, right? Because he's trying to be like an owner of a football club.
He's also trying to avoid the sanctions, and then there's a gun.
And then I'm sure he's not living fearless that anything will happen to him based on what he says. I'm sure that it's just a terrible situation. It's just so like the fact that obviously this is not a political show, but like the fact that a war, the fear of obviously a bigger war or nuclear war,
oh my God,
is affecting because they can't have that fight just like 1v1 Russia versus US. It is
or Ukraine.
No, I'm saying, but because NATO and the US will not get involved.
Gotcha.
It won't attack Russia. Now we have like these proxy wars where now we can't buy their oil. We have to, quote unquote, cancel every Russian involved in any other thing, because that's the only way to get the message through to Putin that all right, I'm not gonna pick up a gun and go attack you.
I won't be aggressive that way, but I'm gonna make your job way harder.
I'm gonna make your job harder. I'm gonna make the lives of your citizens even harder. This is why people
and also get rid of the luxury of all your autocrats. It's like, nah, you ain't got that money no more because everything's frozen.
All the yachts that people I saw a story about a yacht where nobody can find who the owner is. They're just they think it might be Russia connected, but nobody wants to claim the yacht. Well, it's like a
$63 billion yacht. Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know what it is. It was just, it's in my dock, but I don't know who it, but I was holding it for a homie.
Yeah, no, this ain't mine. Oh, I didn't pack my own bags, dog. Whatchamacallit? I say take all their money and let's spend it.
Right.
Here's what I say. Instead of freezing all the Russian oligarch money, why don't you just go buy gas with it and drop the price of gas? Huh? Am I on point here?
The okay. I mean, it's
Cooligans ownership group would be fire. Buying big clubs with gully bucks. Let's go.
Ezra A said, American owners are bad. Others are good. If you say so.
Well, I'm glad you could put it in a succinct manner.
That's why we completely. This is a podcast about how great Stan Kroenke and the Glazers are. So
and y'all were mad at the Glazers and Kroenke. Mutually assured destruction. Yeah. No. Listen.
Yeah.
Look, we're not a political show. That's not what but it's touched the football world.
Yeah.
And there was almost a moment where Usmanov, one of the owners of Arsenal, I don't know if he's still one of the owners of Arsenal. I think
he's related to Everton. I think he has. He
left
an investor.
He left Arsenal and I think may have invested. But he almost at one point was able to usurp Kroenke as the owner, and fans wanted him.
Yeah.
As opposed to Stan Kroenke, he's another one.
Yeah. Oh, well, now the owner of like Spotify looks a little bit better, right? I mean, he seems like a good dude who's just an Arsenal fan. I don't know. Does he have blood on his hands? I don't know.
Maybe.
I know he doesn't pay artists, but could be worse.
He doesn't have art. He's got rights. He's got masters in his hands.
But this is it. This is how it is. I mean, this is how expensive these clubs are to run. You need absolute billionaires because the fans are foaming at the mouth for success. They expect nothing but success for their club. They want to be in Champions League, and not only are they foaming at the mouth for this success, but they're willing to pay for it. Season ticket prices go up. I saw it for every Premier League club. They all went up like 4%.
Also, this is all for banter. You
yeah,
want your
100%.
team to win for bragging rights.
You've
accepted.
It's our egos.
An autocrat because of your ego and your pride.
So that's it. I mean. All I'm saying is let's not be hypocritical about it. Let's just say who we are.
Right. Let's open up and say, how'd we get here?
All right.
We're all at fault. Jamal London said, Alexis, imagine if there was a 50+1 at our club, and imagine those decisions would have been made. We would 100% still have Alba, Ozil, and Luis. Imagine that. Dude, you cannot imagine Arsenal Fan TV, who I love. Imagine they owned and were able to control decisions.
John Carl Tritt said, Robert Kraft got a therapeutic massage. And NFL fans were burning Patriots jerseys. You see?
Bro, LeBron went from one city to another. And the GDP, the gross domestic product of Cleveland dropped.
Bay Raguna says, Super League looks better every year. Yeah.
It might be the only way to avoid this.
So, pretty wild, all this stuff. So
I think the smartest comment that's been made so far is Ezra, who said American owners bad, everyone else good.
So
also, let's just spend Abramovich's money, bro. Abramovich.
So he's Irish now.
He's Irish now. He'll tell you that.
He's half Irish, half Serbian. So okay. Anything else before we wrap up? Thank you everybody for joining us.
We got to talk about Everton real quick.
Oh, do we?
We do, because you had first of all, shouts to AKA Ted Lasso. Shouts to Jesse Marsh.
Oh yeah.
First win. Director of football crying in the stands.
Big win.
Huge win.
Late goal. I forgot the guy's name who scored the goal.
Gertard?
Gerlhard?
No, it was like Gertard.
I don't know. Anyway.
But he came in. He was a sub. Came in. Mm-hmm. Boom.
Yeah, but I mean, Rafinha, who I don't know what's up with this man. He is one of the most electric players in the league. Insanely fast.
Good enough to be on any team he wants.
Great on the ball. Wildly technical. The man can't finish for his life. I don't understand why he sets himself up for so many incredible chances and just cannot put games away. I put goals in the.
He's a star player, but he can't be the superstar.
Yeah, I hope he develops that part of his game, because it's. I can imagine how frustrating it is for him to get that close every single time and just not be able to get around the keeper, hit it wide, hit the bar.
Maybe he's like Joe Linton, and he should be more of a midfielder. Stop trying to score as much.
Yeah, put him in a center back, Rafinha.
Yeah, come on. Who knew you were that good of a goalkeeper, huh?
Jamal said Gelhardt. Gelhardt is his name. And they said, Nick Red said, playing Norwich helps.
Hey, you got to get wins, bro.
They desperately need one. Look, Norwich losing is amazing for Everton. So shouts to Leeds for keeping
Everton's upcoming matches. It's a damn death march, bro.
It is a nightmare. I mean, how week after week, I don't even. How much time am I gonna spend being like?
But I want to take a temperature of where you're at. Will Everton be relegated? On this week's segment of Will Everton be relegated? Yes or no?
As of right now,
where are we right now? What's today's date? Today is Monday, March 14th.
You want it centigrade or Fahrenheit?
Bruh, whatever it is, I know that number gonna be high, bruh.
The likelihood that they get relegated, as right now, I'm feeling like it's over 50%. It feels like maybe we're like, I would say 60% right now.
So you think there's a 60% chance that Everton gets relegated?
Yes. And the reason I don't think it's higher is because I do think that Watford, Burnley, and Norwich are worse. They look worse than Everton do. So that is the only thing that is giving me that level of confidence. I think after that game against Wolves, I applaud Frank Lampard for doing a couple things. For sitting Michael Keane. Michael Keane has had a terrible couple weeks, been playing so bad. He's already had 2 or 3 own goals in just the last few weeks. Just constantly making little mistakes that lead to the opponent scoring. So the fact that he sat him is, I think,
a step in the right direction.
There's a couple. He's just not.
Is it too late though?
It's not too late. It
might be too late in the season. Like if the Aubameyang stuff was happening right now, that would kill our chances of getting top 4 because there's too much change happening when there's a third of the season left.
I mean,
you're like, whatever. As long as we're in the Premier League,
the context is different. I mean, they just got to not get. Look, they only give up 1 goal, off a cross. I mean, it was Mason Holgate. It was Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey at center back. Mason Holgate is not the best center back. He's not really even that big a dude. To who I think it was Connor Cody who scored the goal, and that's what Everton are going to probably give up 1 goal a game. But if they can at least score 1, 2 goals a game, which is I don't even think that much to ask for, but they struggle with that. And when they give up a goal, you can see it in everyone's face, especially Richarlison. Richarlison had a couple chances. He hit the post. It's the frustration.
All the confidence gets zapped out of the club.
The fear of being relegated is so present, and you can feel it, and it's difficult offensively, it's tougher. I think fearing relegation is tougher on the offense rather than the defense. It's like, because Everton, for the most part, are not terrible defenders. They just can't keep up with the lack of scoring that their offense is going through right now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin didn't play this game. He hasn't been fully fit. He was injured. He missed a lot of games. And he doesn't even look like himself. It's concerning. But really, I think the main reason why Everton are giving up so many goals is because Yerry Mina is constantly getting injured. Yerry Mina is such an important player, and I think Michael Keane is a better player paired with Yerry Mina than with anyone else. He looks like a nightmare of a player, and it's like he's not even that bad a player, but when he doesn't have a bigger, stronger dude that can pass forward, he's too much responsibility put on him. So
you're at 60-40.
Yeah.
Okay. The chat is basically at the same thing, but opposite. They say 60-40, no, Everton will not get relegated.
Okay.
They have more confidence than you.
I mean, they should get a point against Wolves.
Okay.
I'm watching that game, and I'm like, man, if we had a player like Raul Jimenez, how much better would Everton be?
So here's what you have coming up. You have Newcastle.
Yeah,
Watford is postponed.
Oh, my God, that's such an important game on Thursday.
Newcastle's massive.
Huge.
You've got an FA Cup match against Crystal Palace. Honestly, send the kids out. You got to focus on Premier League, right? You got West Ham. You got Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester City, Brentford,
bro,
and then Arsenal to finish the season.
How many wins from there do you think Everton will get? Wins, 3 points.
Brentford, Leicester City, Watford.
Yeah. 9 points? 9 points, is that enough to stay in the Premier League? It might be.
No. It is because you also have 3 games in hand. So you'll know what you're up against.
Right.
But you cannot, under any circumstances, drop points against Watford, Newcastle, or Brentford. Under no circumstances. Because you'll be damaging the people you're competing against. Right. And hope that Leeds slides and they have more pressure than you.
Jamal London said, Watford have a better attack than Everton as they have a man like Sam Hodgson as their coach, right? Look, Alan said Everton beating Manchester United. Everton drew against Manchester United the last time. I'm not saying we could win.
You never know which Manchester United are going to show up, so it's possible you could win that. But Jamal London says 1 win and a draw, to be honest.
Dude, I mean...
4 points is not enough.
I think out of the remaining games, I think if Everton can get to how many points do they have right now?
22.
If they can get to, honestly, 32, 35 maybe.
No,
that's
impossible.
Enough to stay in the league.
Maybe Chelsea is in like dire straits when that happens. When you get there, maybe Arsenal is already secured 4th and doesn't trot out their starters against you for the final match of the season. Maybe
40 is usually, that's what I always say. 40 is the goal for
you ain't got no shot.
For teams that want to stay in the league. Every
you got no shot.
But I don't think Everton are getting 40 points. But 35, I think might be enough to stay in the league. That's all. I mean, the bar is wildly low, but it's just like, again, whatever. And you look at how much money they spent, and they
forget that. You're not in position to care about that.
Yeah.
You're literally just care about what do I got to do to beat the team in front of me. And I think the last thing you need to worry about is FA Cup. Right. You're going to be like Wigan when they won the FA Cup and they got in. What did they get into? The Europa League, and they were in the Championship. Right. And they've never been back up.
Jamal said Everton should have gone for Sam Allardyce. Lampard has never been in the trenches. Well, they had. I mean, Sam has been there. He put a stamp on there.
Look at this. D. Stu says Brentford minus 6 points in the last 2 games. Burnley minus 9 points.
Not minus.
Or whatever. Sorry. Brentford 6 points in the last 2 games, so they're doing well. Mm-hmm. Ivan Toney back. Shouts to Ivan Toney. Burnley 9 points since the start of February. Leeds 10 points since the start of 2022. Norwich 7 points since January 15th. Watford 7 points in the last month. Everton 9 points in September.
And then what's worse is that Everton
you just made the situation worse.
Has lost to the bottom 3 teams. They've lost to each of those teams. They've lost to Burnley, they've lost to Norwich, and they lost to Watford. And so it's like you can't even be delusional and say like we're better than those. We're not better than those teams. We're just simply not. And I think there's a lot of factors. The injuries have not been helpful. The battles with Rafa Benitez, getting rid of Luca Digne. It's just crazy. We had James in the summer last year, bro. James Rodriguez was a player at Everton.
Here's what you did. You guys went Ancelotti, Rafa Benitez, Lampard, Championship.
Look, I mean, I mean, I've mentioned this.
Are you going to watch the Championship next year if they go?
Of course. What am I going to do? Not watch it? I'm going to watch it.
We ain't going to talk about it on here.
I mean.
Let's go to the Prem Show.
Bro, you going to censor me? Okay? This is America, all right? Quinton Pizza, Everton can't be relegated, man. Christian already lives off Pagels and Special K. If his team gets relegated, he won't have any joy left.
Bro, he can't eat Special K. Them ain't real ingredients. Bro, his girl when we got the bags of chips, his girl was like, you can't eat this. It has peanut oil, and that's an inflammatory. And I was like, Christian, blink twice if you being held hostage, my G.
No, so.
They're from the South. That's where peanuts come from.
I think, look, hiring Rafa Benitez was clearly a mistake. But what is even worse was the trust that they gave Rafa to manage the roster the way they did while the team was playing so poorly, and to get rid of Luca Digne and take Rafa's side and trust him, and then get rid of Rafa. Like, if they just kept Rafa,
and just said like, all right, well,
We're gonna ride with
we've
him.
already let him do all this other fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Then let's just see it. Let's just see it through, my boy.
Right, you can't let him get rid of one of your best players and then let him go. Because now what you do, you just got rid of your best player.
Exactly, and there was no, like clear replacement. They brought in Mikolenko, but he's not as good as Luka Digne.
All right.
And so it's just those decisions.
Yeses. The more you talk, the more the yeses are starting to slide up. We're now at almost 50-50. Let's end the this week on are Everton going to get relegated with saying it ain't looking good. And the next few weeks we're going to be talking probably a lot more Arsenal because we're looking amazing. So shouts to Arsenal. And again,
remember when we beat Arsenal?
yeah, I remember we were there.
Watch our documentary.
Let me tell you, since then we've been on fire. We have 1 loss and 1 draw, and nothing but dubs.
The Cooligans
Look,
Classico.
I said
YouTube.
it the way they say it.
If you want to
Dubs.
All right, you want a pat on the head? Good for you.
Bunch of kids out here.
So, yes. Look, well, if you want more Everton updates and you see where my blood pressure is at week in and week out, feel free to put it in the chat with if you want to know the status. Okay.
D-Stu said, Christian, who do you blame for this nonsense? Personally, I blame the owners. One word. Who do you blame? One word. That's technically not a word.
Who do I blame? That's a tough one.
All right, well, you think of that.
I'm going to say injuries. Honestly, I'm going to say injuries.
Colo Blanco said, Luis Diaz will drag Yeremina out of Everton if relegated. Yes, he will. Agent Rafa cementing his Liverpool legacy. Bro, they must love him even more.
Yeah.
You need a relegation expert on an interim basis. Lampard wants to play expansive football with Van de Bench and Lil Durk. Lil Durk. Oh, man. They need to get it back in blood. Speaking of, they need to go out there and try.
Look, honestly, I think if Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't get injured, Yeremina doesn't get injured, I think Everton are in a good spot. And they win a lot more games, and they're not in a relegation battle.
Hit the like button if you think Everton is gonna stay up. Hit the subscribe button if you think Everton's gonna get relegated. How about that?
Yeah,
Quick, hurry up.
Hit the subscribe button regardless. Okay, we should wrap up. We've been going on for a little bit.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate everybody in the chat. If you're listening to this podcast, thank you. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your preferred podcast platform. Tell a friend. Do whatever you got to do. Let people know about this show. You have too much fun out here. So we're here every Monday, Prem Show, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So come through on YouTube, youtube.com/soccercooligans. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you have not.
Also, if you get a chance, right now we got the Pablo Zabaleta interview. Absolutely incredible. We have some pretty wild questions. Already, we have a clip up right now on our YouTube. You could go check that out. It premiered this morning, right? Premiered this morning. You can check that out. But if you want to see the whole interview, you want to get it early, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/soccercooligans, or you can go to shoutstous.com. Shoutstous.com. Join the Patreon if you like. In fact, thank you very much to all of our patrons. We've got some new patrons we're going to give a couple shout-outs to.
Yeah,
you guys are the best.
Jose de Jesus Vega Andrade.
Wow.
Love it.
Hey, all 5 of you. Thank you for joining under the one one banner.
Jose or Jose, I don't know. The Andrade might be Brazilian for all I know, but shouts to you. Thank you so much.
How do I get to the here we go, patrons.
Rachel Harth, thank you so much for joining Patreon. Rachel was Gully Squad member that moved over.
That's right.
To Patreon. So
shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
Emily Barraza,
thank you so much.
Francisco Salgado.
Right. Shout out to Catherine Tucker,
hey,
the homie, RSL.
Catherine.
Homie. And then I think I'm Brian Walsh. Some of them we might have read already.
Catherine, I know, switched from Old Gully Squad to New.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Shouts to you.
Brian Walsh, Ian Kegg, and of course, Grant Wall.
Yeah, well, we gave those shout outs already.
Yeah, but still. So I know we've reached the list.
Where we left last time, I believe, the last one we read was Pete from the Manor. But Kevin Chupka. Thank
you so much.
Nick Harris.
Grayson Smith.
Shout
Jackson
out.
Fowler.
A lot of Gully Squad members that moved over to Patreon, so thank you, everybody. Jason O.
That's right. Jerron Wright.
Jaren.
Sorry. Did I just become a Key and Peele sketch?
Right, yes. We've met Jaren, a great dude.
No, he's the homie.
Shout out to Seattle Zone.
Jaren.
Jaren.
It's Aaron with a J. Shouts to Ebony Christmas.
Okay.
Some people listening, that might be your parents' worst nightmare.
Thank you, Ebony. Thank you, Michael Benton. And we'll stop at Kyle Carr. Shout out to
No,
Kyle.
I want to read the next one. Tom, up the white bellies. Thornton, shouts to you, yo.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Come on, you white bellies.
All right.
Only if you ask nicely.
Join Patreon. We'll give you a shout out if you join. So feel free to do that. Patreon.com/soccercooligans. We're almost at 100 patrons. So help us get there. We're like 6 away. All right.
And we got some big stuff coming up when we get to 200. We're going to stream the show from our mom's living rooms, bro.
Exactly. So if you
It's going
want
to be crazy.
be a part of that.
Bro, my mom might hit me on camera. I'm dead ass.
Okay. All right. Well, we have to call social services because Alexis
kid.
is a kid. So we have to stay. We have to
Stop
protect
hitting that kid. It's me with my bad knee.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. It's always a great time here on YouTube Live. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining. We appreciate y'all. And we'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be talking some a lot of MLS. It's a big MLS weekend, so a lot to discuss in the world of American soccer.
Lou D said, glory, glory, white bellies. I mean, it sure feels that way, doesn't it?
Sure. Hey, look, whatever you need to say to yourself to finish. I mean, that's
Usually I kind of think of a lot of things when I'm done, but you're sitting there chanting. I love it.
But just know you'll be stuck at that age. So keep that in mind.
And John Carl Tritt said, yo, side note, love the in-chat polls. Hey, we'll keep them coming.
Yeah, let's go.
Keep them coming, you white bellies.
They were going to say, as an Earthquakes fan, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow's show.
We ain't talking about earthquake.
I mean, it's going to be, we're going to speak about it in the same tone that I talk about Everton. A lot of concern, okay?
Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you think Everton's staying up. Hit the subscribe button if you think Everton is going down.
All right. Peace, everybody.